أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Fokia, um, trying to say something about fasting when I was a child. This piece was written in 1990 for teachers training session and later published in newsletter for Muslims Women Association in Regent's Park Mosque, London. And then also published in Pensioners Gazette for Lewisham. Fasting as a child. As a child, fasting for me was great excitement, getting up during the early hours of the morning when there was no fear of the dark, when there was an added time that one could have a little fun with the whole family and enjoy an extra special meal called sehri or sahur. As a child, I was physically weak, so my mother didn't think it was wise or necessary to wake me early in the morning because, in her estimation, I would have lack of sleep and would not be able to keep the whole fast. Added to it was the fact that fasting was not obligatory for a child of my age. I was very disappointed and tried to keep awake until it was time to get up for the special meal, sehri, but it was seemingly impossible. Then one morning I decided to keep the fast anyway, even though I had not prepared it by eating the special meal, which which we must have as a sunnah. Come and have your breakfast, said my mother in the morning. But I'm fasting, I said. But you can't be, she said. You haven't eaten your sari. I have said my intentional prayer though. I replied, I I can't break my promise now, I said loudly. وَبِصَوْمِ غَدٍّ نَوَيْتُ مِنْ شَهْرِ رَمَضَانَ. So my mother paused and thought for a while. All right, she said. You can keep the fast for half a day, but then you can stop and have lunch. I was very excited that I was finally allowed to keep a fast. My mother went on, do you know why we have a special dish of sweet vermicelli on Eid morning? She asked. No, I replied, bewildered. It is to stitch all half-day fasts together. So all the children who keep half-day fasts can have half as many full ones. So if you keep all 30 half-day fasts on each day, when you eat your vermicelli, they get stitched into 15 full ones. And that is a lot for a child of your age. I thought that was a very good bargain, and it all made sense at the time. So from that day on, I was woken up along with other members of the family. When we fasted from a very early age, we as children had an understanding of the responsibility we had been entrusted with and how to fulfill it, to discipline ourselves, to get up before dawn, eat a meal, and go without food or drink for the rest of the day till dusk, which was Maghrib. No one was looking over our shoulders, no one but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we broke the promise and ate or drank something during the day, who was to lose? No one but ourselves. This responsibility that was placed upon us not only made us independent, but also confident, for it was a great responsibility that enriched us with deep satisfaction after we had fulfilled it. The satisfaction of an unbroken promise, of a command carried out, it was a superb feeling of pride, self-respect, of being able to do something like adults, an achievement, a mission accomplished. happened every year for 30 days, gradually developing in us community spirit and tolerance. Because when one is fasting, it is not only giving up food and drink, but many things, trying not to be selfish, not to be rude, not to hurt people. Not only this, people also try to give up addictions and not telling a lie. One week, one kept reminding each other, look, if you're fasting, you shouldn't be doing this or that. Even if we were not fasting, to do good became a habit, a collective responsibility, and gradually it became part of our character and a kind of worship. Sometimes the fact that no one knew you were fasting was turned into a game. Guess who is fasting? Or guess what we are going to have for Aftari? Counting the benefits and rewards of fasting, telling each other stories and incidents of rewards that we are going to get. Sometimes, to make sure that everyone was keeping a fast, we would telephone our friends at Seri time. Even if they were not awake, the telephone woke them up, so they had no excuse in the morning for not keeping a fast. I spent the whole day with a secret feeling inside me, even though it was a common knowledge that I was fasting. There was still a special link between me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That link still remains today. However great the temptation, I must not break my promise. Fasting is the only pillar of Islam not expressed by physical actions, so no one is to know if any anyone was keeping the fast. One could have been eaten the sari meal, but still no one could be sure that a certain person was fasting. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about fast, I will reward you for it as much as I please. At the end, I want to just make, make a comment that we must listen to our children. Do not let the teachers in this country discourage them to fast as they sometimes do. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.